So hello there. I wanted to do a review of Stillwater with Matt Damon. I know my graphics are still bad. Bear with me. Um, so I saw that it's loosely based on the Amanda Knox case. And this is a picture of Amanda, if you don't know who she is. She's from Seattle, or at least in Washington, near Seattle. And she went to Italy to study. Now, the movie, they base her in Marseille, France. So there's a bit of a problem between the difference between Italy and France, for starters. I just finished watching a movie, a clip of Matt Damon talking with the director, Tom McCarthy. I guess Matt's wanted to work with Tom McCarthy for a while, so they finally got together. Here's a picture of Tom McCarthy. And they were discussing the film, its good points and its bad points. So I wanted to touch on a couple points they didn't bring up or raise. So let's start with the fact that they make the character a big Christian, or at least a religious guy. They don't go into his denomination. And so he's always wanting to pray with whoever he's with. I have nothing against that per se. That's his business. Even though he tried to bring it upon other people. What I do have a problem with is then they make the character swearing a lot. Using the S word, using lots of other words that if you're... I've met a lot of religious guys in the U.S. That they wouldn't do that. So that's the first flaw with their movie. Does it impact the movie? Not for most. It did. Sometimes those flaws come out for me because I'm attuned to everything that's going on. Now, Tom McCarthy and Matt Damon were describing how they filmed it, and they were saying they tried to do it with as little intervention as possible. They tried to just come into a setting near a cafe type of thing and just start filming their part, and then with as little fanfare so that the fans didn't start gawking at them, which is great. I love when movies do that. But I lost my train of thought for a second. I'll come back to it. So the other thing that I found with Matt Damon's character is that they said, okay, he can't speak French. He can't speak the language of the natives. But this is not 1930, 1940. I came upon the same problem when I was in China. I didn't speak fluent Chinese, and you learn to adapt. And what I found was, even though I didn't get a smartphone until after I got there, you have on your phone apps to translate. And this is something I didn't think about until after. Matt Damon and Tom McCarthy don't bring this up. His character he had a phone, he was using it all the time. He certainly had the capability to use an app to do translation, right? Now, why they say he didn't speak French is so then he had to speak to this woman that he ended up staying with in her apartment, when she moved into a new apartment. So there's little flaws like this in the movie that they don't have a really good explanation for. He could have asked someone if he was really desperate, and in the movie he tries to portray he's desperate. He could have had them, as I have done, write down how to say things like, do you know this person, or how do I get to there? He didn't even attempt to do that, or they didn't show it. They had him walking around speaking English. Well, I've been in France, not Marseille, but I've been in France. They don't help anyone speaking English, and they certainly don't respond to you. They make you speak in French, otherwise they give you the brush off as move along. So there's little flaws like that that kind of were disturbing, or at least noticeable to me. There's others, but I don't want to denigrate the film. It was a pretty good film, not an excellent film, certainly not a great film. It was an interesting film. I liked it. The cast was good. I like Breslin. She's good. She was better in a lot of other films I've seen her in. I should do a video just on that. I've seen her in some great films. This wasn't her best effort. There were other flaws with her too, but I'm not going to bring them up. So it was a movie worth watching. I've had people on both sides talking about the slow pace, the slow build-up. I liked it, or I didn't mind it too bad. It didn't add to the drama. They could have cut out or edited it a bit. There's other films where the slow pace builds the drama. This one didn't do it so much. But to wrap up, it was a pretty good film. I saw an article where they said they got a 5-minute or 7-minute standing ovation. I find that hard to believe. It was certainly worth watching. I didn't find the link to Amanda Knox. There was only a couple things, and plus, I won't spoil anything, but the ending was very poorly done. They kind of did it very quickly and glossed over it. The other thing I didn't like is the kidnapping scene. So that I don't ruin it, that could have been done a lot different, a lot better. So certainly go watch it, but don't tell me it's going to win any awards. It wasn't the greatest film. Certainly better than The Adjustment Bureau, which Matt gets ribbed a lot for being a poor movie. I think he's a good actor, and this was a decent film. Okay, bye-bye.